Welcome back to the Tractor Time with Tim Dream Shop Build. The construction crew is here and the project is underway. If you're just joining us, we're building a large shop and office addition to our home. Week 2 is underway. Actually, it's Tuesday already, and we got big plans for today. The new trusses that are the right size are supposed to arrive any minute, and hopefully we'll start setting those by 10:30. Meanwhile, yesterday, we did more of the same. You saw roofing in the last episode, and so we didn't get a lot of footage of that. Working on the dormers here today and getting the ridge vents and all installed up at the top. So it's totally covered in. You might notice it's a little bit overcast. We're not sure if it's going to rain today. The forecast shows almost no rain, like 5 to 10% chance most of the day. And then tonight there is a bigger chance, maybe 30-40% chance. With the weather the way it's been recently, 30-40% chance is definite rain. Got a full crew today. All 6 of the team are here on the same day. That's the first time we've had all 6 of them here at the same time. They kind of rotate through typically, and so there's been anywhere from 3 to, again, the full 6 here today. So we set the end truss with the telehandler. It took less crane time that way, right? So got that all set up. They're getting it perfectly leveled and squared. They've actually spent a lot of time on this, which I appreciate. They've really worked to get these doors. For instance, one of the doors was a 1/4 inch off at the top, and that was not good enough. So they kept working at it, and I really appreciated that. Obviously a novice telehandler operator. I kind of ran into the truss there at one point, but I'm probably about as good as they are, so yeah. I've heard a lot of people talk about how the Amish teams, they never talk. They just work and they never speak or whatever. Well, we're not seeing that at all with this team. This team is quite talkative, communicative with each other. They joke with each other. They joke with us. It's actually quite a pleasant work environment for us because of that. So I really appreciate that. Now, sometimes they talk in either Dutch or German, whatever the Amish dialect is. So I don't have a clue what they're saying. They're probably just saying bad things about me. The crane has 2 chains dangling from it, probably about 12 feet long, and they're quite small diameter chains. I would say 1/4 inch chain or less, easy to handle. I should have got a close-up of the grab hooks. They look like a normal grab hook, but they've got something welded on the side. Not sure what that was all about, and I didn't know who to ask. I noticed that Levi here had quite the job. He not only had to get the truss ready for the crane, he also had to hand all of the lumber up to the guys that were working on top. So I decided I would learn what he was doing on the ground here and see if I could help. I didn't know which lumber went to which guy at which moment, so I decided to totally avoid that. But hooking the truss and walking it around there seemed like something I could do, so I'm watching closely at this point. Now, seeing these trusses go up was for me the first time that I could see just how tall an 18-foot eave is going to be. Yes, of course I could sort of see it when the posts were up, but the trusses really helped to define the space and help me realize just how large it's going to be. The fascinating thing is that Christy kind of sees the opposite. She looks in there and says, "Oh my, this is not going to be nearly large enough to hold all of our equipment." While I'm sure it'll take us a long time to get it all organized, I'm hopeful that we can fit everything in. And by moving the shelter logic instead of tearing it down, I'm pretty certain we will.
I think you need to come up on that ridge, pounding a few nails to really make this work out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that would happen. These guys are fearless, I guess, and young.
Yep, I thought I could do this part.
No, and it's got me tired already too.
Yeah, I'd already told the team that anything that didn't have a seat on it was not an appropriate tool for me to be using. I enjoy that they'll poke it back at me a little bit. Aaron told me to try to get the rope within his reach as quickly as possible, and then he'd handle it from there, and he did. Now, I found this crane operator to be incredible. For the most part, the team didn't need to give him much direction. He knew what to do. He knew exactly where that truss needed to go, and he knew how to get it there. The guys on the ends get their screws started as soon as they can, and that crane operator has such detailed control that he can position it just pretty much all by himself. They don't put all the purlins on here while they're setting the trusses. They do the 2 that straddle the ridge at the top, and then they do 2 more across the center, along with a couple of braces near the bottom of the truss. They'll fill in the rest of the purlins and additional bracing once the crane is gone.
Well-oiled machine.
On the left-hand side here, Aaron has to detangle that rope and get it dropped before he can start his screw. Meanwhile, on the right side, as soon as Samuel gets a good grip on the truss, he's able to get that screw started, and he's ready for final positioning. On the peak, David's got a purlin in each hand ready to extend over the new truss. The peak of the truss has a screw partially drilled in on each side of it to guide those purlins into the correct position. Seems like a precarious position to me, but he scoots right out on those purlins before they've been screwed down. Now, wouldn't you know it, just as soon as I got familiar with a particular roll and had started to work on it, another subcontractor showed up who needed my attention. So, yeah, I was a quitter. But Levi didn't seem to mind. These trusses, for the 56-foot span, have a 2x10 on the top and a 2x10 on the bottom. The 60-footers that they mistakenly delivered first had a 2x12 on the top and a 2x10 on the bottom. I talked to one of the owners of the truss company, and he explained that there are several different ratings of 2x10s, 2x12s, any sort of dimensional lumber like this. And this particular lumber has a very high stress rating. They run each board through a series of bending and stress testing, and if it breaks, it doesn't qualify. So that eliminates any particular board that has too large of a knot or 2 knots close together, anything that would weaken it. Of course, that means the lumber is more expensive, but you need as light a weight as possible in the truss itself to allow more payload capacity for the roof that it's supporting. Exactly the same thinking as gross vehicle weight on a trailer. A lighter trailer with the same weight rating allows you more payload capacity. One question still remains. I did not check into whether these trusses are truly strong enough to hold my solar panels. I guess if the whole roof falls in, you guys can tell me that they weren't strong enough. If you're new to our channel or new to this project, we have a playlist with all the videos for the planning that we've done, as well as the construction videos to date. The playlist is entitled 2025 TTWT Dream Shop Build. The journey started almost 9 months ago now, and yet we've really just begun. I would encourage you to check out that playlist, and you can see how the planning has changed over time. We've had ideas that we then changed our mind, other ideas that have been consistent and yet just become more refined over time. Anyway, if you got time, check it out. You might be able to hear a beep, 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 beep in the background. That's the drone warning Christy that she's flying too close to something. I think we heard that beeping most of the time while these trusses were going up. Check out David being able to disconnect those chains from about 15 feet away. We are 46 minutes now into setting the trusses. I say we. Yeah, I helped for a little bit until the geothermal guy came and needed to talk about that. Yeah, that's right. We're getting geothermal. I have much more information about that when we get really into that. Right now, we're pretty busy.
You mean they're pretty busy?
Well, even I was kind of busy for a moment.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's convinced. Are you? These drone views help us to appreciate more of the details of what these guys are doing. If it's as fascinating to you as it is to me, I might encourage you to watch it more than once. I think you'll see more details and be able to pick up on just little things that they're doing to save each other time each time you watch it.
Yeah, that's true. They got a lot of the house roofed. Last one. Ah.
It took about 40 minutes for the first truss to get it all squared up and done, probably because I was driving the telehandler. But then the crane arrived and it took 1 hour and 8 minutes to set the rest of the trusses. And they've got a few of the girts up, just enough to hold them. So, yep, that's going to be the end of this one. Can't tell you how excited I am at this point. Stick around, we'll show you every step. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
Built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, with Christ Jesus himself as the chief cornerstone. In him, the whole building is joined together and rises to become a holy temple in the Lord.
Izzy, what are you doing in there?
Iz, you like this thing as well as I do? Huh? We need one of these, don't we? Huh? You've even got a spot to sit on this one. On my armrest, but a spot to sit. Me and Iz have been through a lot of goofy things already now.
Yeah?